Hi everybody, this is Moshe Boaz. I'm a lawyer here in Jerusalem. I saw the post regarding dogs and what happens if a dog attacks another dog, what happens if a dog attacks a person. Here in Israel there are a few laws regarding raising dogs and how to take care of them, how to be with them in a public area and also in a private residence. Let's start from the beginning. All dogs in Israel above the age of 3 months must have a permit, which is given to the owners of the dog by the local veterinarian. Okay. Now, if the dog is of a specific breed, which is written in the law is considered a dangerous breed of dog, then it has to be written in that registration that it is a dangerous dog, and then there are a whole set of rules regarding that type of dog. In the post which I saw on the internet, in the group, you referred to a breed of dog called Akita. Specifically, that breed of dog is not considered a dangerous dog here in Israel, even though it is considered a dangerous dog in other countries, and there are regulations in those countries regarding that type of dog. Here in Israel, there aren't. Saying that doesn't mean it's not considered a dangerous dog. So even though the law states a list of 10 different types of dogs which are considered dangerous dogs, here I'll even tell you their names. Give me a moment. We have the American Staffordshire Bull Terrier. You have the regular Bull Terrier. You have a Duga, Argentinian Duga. You have a Tosa from Japan. Staffordshire Bull Terrier, which is an English Staff. Pit Bull. Rottweiler. Those are in general the dogs which are considered dangerous dogs here in Israel. But the law does state, okay, at the beginning of the law, we're talking about Chok Le'asdarat HaPikuach HaKlavim, which means the law regarding the supervision of dogs here in Israel. There is a definition for a dangerous dog, and one of the definitions is any dog which is above 3 months of age and has bitten a bite which has caused damage. Which means, now the law does not state if that bite was given to a person or was given to another dog or another animal, okay? So in general, it should be considered that a dog which has bitten another dog will be considered a dangerous dog, okay? And especially in this case of an Akita, which is known to be, in some countries, a dangerous dog, okay? So how do you have a dog which isn't considered by a law a dangerous dog all of a sudden become considered? The way to do that would be to contact the local veterinarian, okay, which is run by the municipality wherever you live, and inform them of the dog itself, the owners of the dog, and then they will have it registered accordingly. What happens if a dog bit your dog? How do you handle that? How do you take care of that? So in general, the law here in Israel states that you can sue the person that caused you damages, or that their dog caused you damages, okay? In almost every single situation where a dog bites, okay, the full responsibility for damages will be upon the owner of that dog. In almost any case, there are very few situations where it won't be considered the responsibility of the owner of the dog, okay? Now, here in Israel, there's a tort law regarding all kinds of different types of torts. One of them is a situation where a dog attacks somebody. In a situation like that, the responsibility of the owner will be total, which means no matter what, he'll be responsible, except for in 3 different situations, where in those situations, let's just say, he won't immediately be responsible, okay? He'll have the chance to prove his innocence in this case, okay? So I'll read it to you, for instance. We have a situation where if the person that was attacked actually was provocative towards the dog. If you were provocative towards the dog, it's not clear that it's the responsibility of the owner of the dog for any damages that were caused. Okay? Second situation was if you attacked the owner. There are situations where a person will attack another person, and a dog, feeling connected to his owner, will come to try to help him, save him, rescue him, or so on and so forth. And in that situation, it won't be the immediate responsibility of the owner. And the third situation is if you trespassed a person's property, you went into their backyard, their dog was there. In a situation like that, they won't immediately be responsible for damages caused. Dogs which are considered dangerous dogs, they are not allowed to be in public without a muzzle. And of course, they have to be on a leash, and the most the length can be of that leash is 2 meters, okay? Regarding other dogs, all dogs which are in public have to be kept on a leash. There isn't a state in the law which refers to the length of the leash, but in general, the law states that it has to be the kind of leash where a person will be able to be in control of his dog, okay? What should you do now that this situation has happened? So what I would recommend you to do, of course, if you don't know the owners and you can't contact them, you have no idea where to reach this dog or the dog's owners, then there's not really much you can do. But if you do know who the owners are, yes, you can sue for damages caused to your dog. I would recommend in a situation like this to go through small claims court, because there weren't any physical damages done to you. The physical damages were done to your dog. I think it's something that can be plus minus put into a budget of damages, let's say, that would be probably around the thousands of shekels and not the hundreds of thousands of shekels. In small claims court, you can sue up to about 34,000 shekels. So that should be the right answer for you. I just want to add to everything that we said till now regarding the responsibility of a person towards his dog. Okay, you have to understand that your responsibility isn't only if a dog bites a person. The responsibility is even if a person is frightened by that dog. Okay, I for instance know of a case where actually a very important judge in Tel Aviv, he was the sitting judge in the Mechozi court in Tel Aviv, and his son had a dog in the backyard, and somebody was walking on the street, and that dog just ran to the fence, and the person got scared by the dog, slipped, broke his arm, and his shoulder was dislocated. And so who's responsible? The dog did not touch that person just walking in the street. His father, the judge, looked at him and said, "Son, it's your dog. You are totally responsible, and you will pay whatever needs to be paid." And of course, that young man paid everything, all the damages which was done to that person. So, and by the way, it's also been ruled in the Supreme Court. There was a situation where a person went up the stairs in their building, and in their apartment building, and another person that lived in the building just tied their dog outside of their door in the stairway over there. And that person that was walking up the stairs got frightened and fell, okay, just by being even though the dog did not provoke that person at all. It's just the basic fact that that person was scared of dogs, okay? The Supreme Court here in Israel ruled that that person is totally responsible, or the owner of the dog is totally responsible to all damages which were done by the dog, even though the dog did not even touch the person, even though the dog did not act in a provocative way. The fact that the dog was in a public area, okay, and the dog caused damages, the owner is totally responsible, okay? So for those dog owners which are listening to this video, I highly recommend whenever you leave your house, leave the house when your dog is tied to a leash, okay? I can't put it off the table, and I would have to say that I also recommend to put a muzzle on a dog, okay? Simply because dogs are a lot of times unpredictable, okay? And the fact that they're unpredictable makes them a very liable situation to pay damages if any damage was caused to somebody. Of course, if we're talking about a dangerous dog, what we said, which is referred to in the law, in a situation like that, your dog must have a muzzle on his mouth when leaving the house, okay? And I'll tell you more than that. There are situations that even inside the house, the dog has to have a muzzle. If I'm not mistaken, if there are children, here, I'll tell you exactly. Okay, if there are children under the age of 16 near the dog, even if it's in your house, the dog has to have a muzzle on its mouth. We're talking about, of course, dangerous dogs, what we talked about beforehand. Okay? So, any situation which happens, the owner will be responsible for damages. Any other questions, advice, consultation, feel free to contact me. I'm here. Good day. Bye-bye.